It's going to be a bit quiet when they start, but we know how these things roll at the beginning now. No one joins. But if you do, you're not going to hear much of anything. We're good. Oh, no, we're not good. Hang on. Not good. This one, this one, this one, this one. Whee! Now we're good. Yes! Someone's here, 2 likes. Master Schmitters, I just fired up Discord to put on a permanent invite link on here, right? And I noticed the Italian bomber has a little bit of a fuselage going on, buddy. I couldn't help but notice. Hey, Master, thank you for the likes as well, guys. I do appreciate that a great deal. All right, here we are. I can get settled now. I guess I should immediately paint something just to get warmed up. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing this evening? Oh, you've both got the #1 crown. Is that because you've both put one comment? Is that how that works? I think it is. It's nice to be sitting down in this little man nook. Let's do some bases. Let's get a little bit of black on these bases, shall we? What are you up to, guys? Are you still... Was the bomber picture on Discord, Schmitz, is that from tonight or today? Oh, you're working on it right now. Fantastic. How's it going so far? Are you using the Revel... Because you made a comment about when I showed the Revel glue. Is that the same glue you're using? Because if so, you should be, because it's bloody brilliant. Bloody brilliant glue. You're going forward with the car. Okay, because when we left off, Master, we left off with the apartment. So what changed? What changed that to you in your eyes? Because I thought we were sorted and you were going with apartment. Is it because you could have your cake and eat it? You could still live relatively rent-free with the rents? And when I mean rents, I mean parents, and then still have a nice car to drive around in. Is that why? I think. Well, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part. So what's good is I realised that some of these guys I can get off the Susan, which is nice. And I've also had a fantastic idea as well. The ones are clogged, so I got a pot of Tamiya Ultra Thin cement. It's very nice for... Really? Schmitters? Is it... Have you got Discord up? Is it too much to ask for you to slap a photo of it in Discord? Is that too big an ask? Because I've never heard of that, but I don't like joins. What I tend to do is I tend to squirt so much of the Revel in that it seals it with a little dip. Oh, it's the same glue, just extra thin. Extra thin. Okay, extra thin. Well, that is... I've never heard of it, but that's the same name as my tape. Hang on, where's my tape? Let's see. Oh, I've torn off the top, ironically. It doesn't say its name there. Oh, it does. Yeah, it is Tamiya. So it's the same makers as this tape. The tape that I've got is really useful. It's got a little brush. You're supposed to hold the parts together and brush it on the outside and it seeps in. Oh, well, I don't want to use glue brushes. I don't think I'll look after those enough. I think they would just get manky in no time, frankly. But, I mean, if it seeps in... Do you use anything like Milliput or anything like that? Or any, like green stuff? Do you have any experience with green stuff? Oh, I must have replied. Well, cool car cheaper after further calculation. Current car is only 130 to 150 per month, cheaper per month. Oh, okay. So the running costs of that car are already quite high. So that's not really that much of an increase at all, Master. If anything, that's quite a small increase. So you could have a much nicer car, and in your words, your dream car, for not a whole heap more. So yeah, I can see why you'd want to go with that, to be honest. I don't know much about cars, so if you can write the name of it, either in here, well, no, here's probably not good, in Discord, so that I can Google it when I'm looking on Discord, that'd be swell. Poor fit in the massive gaps. Well, I mean, you are going to buy 1970s model, Schmitters. You might have to deal with a certain amount of warping. Tesla Model 3 long range. So I'm assuming that entirely attributes to the battery life. So is it a big old luxury vehicle, or is it a little sporty version, or is it a big old hunker chunker like American car, like like Land Cruiser? I'm guessing it's like Land Cruisery, because you're going to be in it for so long. So you'd want to essentially drive an armchair, wouldn't you? Or would you? To be honest, this doesn't really need another coat. I might just use what I've got left on the palette. So yeah, so big old armchair car. Yeah, I think if I was going to go for a car, I would go for a big old brute of a vehicle. I don't care about how fast I'm going. I would essentially want to cruise around in an armchair. I wouldn't want to have to be squished in sedan. The most performant one, but more range. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what a sedan car looks like. Is that just like 4 doors, like regular car shape? I kind of feel like it is. Is that have I got that right? I don't know much about cars. I feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm right on that one. I feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm more than right. I feel like I'm 100% correct. Let's do a bit of edge highlighting straight away. Oh, I reorganised my paints and subsequently lost them all. I'm missing a few. Can't find my friggin' mud technical for basing the Marines. I can't find my purple ink, Carrion Crimson or Crimson Gore. I can find Blood Angel, but that's more red than purple, which that was me dropping. It kind of bugs me that I can't find it. Let's get you out. That's Retributor Gold. Now I've got to rummage for a null oil. But I thought I'd give it a little bit of a spruce. Oh, there we go, null oil. We don't need to worry about it now. Okay, well, yeah, you would want space. Given the length of your commute being, what was it, 255 kilometres round trip? Given that, I would say a bit of comfort is necessary, frankly. So, I don't blame you at all for that. Right, let's do these eyes. Can that third person who joined, if I nail these eyes straight away, first attempt, can you go ahead and drop me a like for my skills? However, if I bodge it, you're welcome to give me the text equivalent of a spit in the face, a spat in my eyes. Here we go, first time. First highlight of the evening. I'm going to keep talking so I don't start having to rely on holding my breath. Oh, that is... I think that's a little bit fluffed. Go for it painting, hi. I don't know whether that first eye is whether you ever like. Let's just go to the next one and just squidge in an edge highlight. Let's see. Go for it painting. Last time you were here, were we talking about channels? And if so, were you one of them? Oh, that's all right though. That one's... You can slap a like on for that eye. There we go. Good. First edge highlight. Yes, okay, space is good. That's always nice to hear. I earned that like with the eye. Although I feel like... Do you know what? Take a look at the bottom. It's the bottom of the eye. I thought it was too close to the lip. But if you look ever so slightly, it's not over, but it's bloody close. Oh, we got fourth person. Right, I've got to do an edge highlight of some sort. Give me a grey sear. I got grey sear. I'm going to lose them before I get to try and do something. Correct's right. Here, I'll do an edge highlight. I'm going to edge highlight the librarian's grey hood right now. Don't you go. And I'm going to nail it first time. Oh, the white's a little bit lumpy. Here we go. Straight away. Don't lose them. Librarian, get your ass over here. Okay, so here's the librarian hood. I'm going to edge highlight all of these bits with too much paint on my brush. Straight away, first try. Oh, they left you, friggin' heretic. When does it arrive? When does it arrive, Master? When does the car turn up? Does it get... I guess it gets driven to you, or you go pick it up? How does that work? I don't know anything about cars. I've never owned a car. If I ever get a car, it'll be a self-driving one. I'm not gonna bother with a car. I have my reasons. I don't like the things. Oh, that's a little bit more than edge highlighting. That's me outright painting it. You know what? Let's do that. Even though I did those edge highlights, it's good practice, but I'm going to go ahead and just paint over them and just bring up the colour of this hood. Because I realised that I went for grey, which I was told was canon, but it's too close to the apparent mage-like effect, which just looks like a jade statue. So I need to kind of separate those. I need to think of a colour to get on the face that I can kind of move it away from grey. And so I'm going with this. I'm going white on this. Korax white. It's practically a light grey, to be honest. It's no Scar white, but Scar white goes peak tongue too easy. So let's just do this bit. Ah, delicious. Delicious. Why did that heretic have to leave? They could have appreciated that sweet... Oh, should I try in there as well? Wow. Man, that was a little bit... I'm going to try in that bit as well. Right there. Wow. Man. Getting a little bit good on those. For me, anyway. When I say getting a little bit good, I don't mean in general for painting, but I mean, like, that's the best. Well, it wasn't edge highlighting, was it? It was just painting a very small bit of model. Okay, well, I grabbed that sucker out for no reason, but a bit of practice. That's something, I guess. Oh, more chat. Schmitters. Could be on 2 devices. I've got my phone for typing and my desktop for audio. Check you out, Mr. Fancy Pants, with your multiple devices. I was way overthinking it for a while, but it took me some days to calm down. Pick it up because I have to trade in my current one. Alright, arrives between 4th and... That's really soon. That's really soon, Master. That is, that's not long to wait, buddy. That'll be there. That's no time at all, frankly. No time at all. I need to talk to... Go for it painting, you still with us? Or have you already gone? Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I think so. I mean, like... Yeah, I mean... it feels fast. And you so you drive... You're gonna get your old car, like, detailed, cleaned out. Is there anything embarrassing in there that you might have forgotten, stuck under a seat, that when it arrives, they're like, oh, God, he's got one of those. Something suspect. I'm not saying you're suspect, Master, but... You know, there was all those murders you did. So, you know, you don't want to leave anything incriminating in there. So we're just doing these dots on here. Blah, 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 blah. But they don't even have to be super good. They just have to be ever so slightly gold. Yeah, but you can say your goodbyes. Like, you can drive it around for a bit and, reminisce about how it's been a trusty steed, trusty workhorse. Yeah, well, dirt's not incriminating, is it? Well, it depends. Are we talking? Was it dirt found at the dirt that matched the crime scenes across the crime scenes that appeared in the Lego HQ car park, your hunting ground? The Lego Bandit, the Lego Marauder. Yeah, I would assume that part of their trade-in is that you get it cleaned, because they must, I reckon, because otherwise they might get some absolute horrible turn-ins, because people would just be like, oh, well, it's getting swapped in, unless they have like a detailing service of their own and they have people who they've hired who would clean it out, which is possible. I mean, it could be a thing. It's totally poss. So Schmitz, also, what made you crack out the bomber as opposed to the other one, the fighter? What made you? I'm going to go with that. The bomber was harder to find, and so you were more excited about doing it. Just leave it as it is, Master. Don't spend on the clean. See it as a discount off your first payment. I wouldn't bother cleaning it. I mean, you could whack a hoover around it at home and do it for free, but I wouldn't spend it to get it detailed. Ah, I nailed it. Hey, I totally know you, Schmitters. I thought that might have been the case. It was harder to get, and so as a result, you were more geared up to do it. That's all those dots need. That's all it needs. I like my... is this a 3mm or a 2mm stripe? Oh, he has no stripes on his shoulder. Okay, we've got that to do as well. Something to look forward to. I'm going to take a little bit more gold off this pot and close it. Half-finished fighter is still sitting there for like a year, so I wanted to do the shiny other thing. I get ya. Is it... I don't know about you, but does it get to a point where you've spent so long not doing something and it's been sitting there for so long that it almost becomes like a thing, like it almost becomes intimidating to pick it back up? Is that something that you've experienced, or is it just you're just not feeling it 100%? Because I've assembled some things and I've been like, oh, I don't really feel that there's something off. There's like a bad feeling. I don't feel like I want to continue this model or something. And then sometimes it just ends up sitting idle for God knows how long. It's already kind of scuffed. Is scuffed like... is that like a model term for a bit beat up, or you kind of screwed it up a bit? Ah, okay, you put the cockpit in before painting it. Yeah, that's a no-no with Airfix, man. You know you can't do that with Airfix. You've got to... Did you glue the canopy on as well? You didn't do that, did you? Surely not. Surely you didn't glue the canopy on as well. Oh, rear landing wheel? Well, that's not impossible. You could have the landing gear up and then fishing wire it to your ceiling instead. So you don't have to have a landing gear unless all your stuff is... You don't want something dangling from your ceiling. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe all your stuff's on a shelf, I'm guessing. I'm reckoning shelf, Schmitters. I think you're a shelf plane kind of guy. Would I be right in saying you're a shelf and not a glass cabinet? You did glue the see-through gun sight. Yeah, okay. Well, it might be salvageable, but you might have also created a lot of extra work for you. I would say painting the inside of the cockpits would be one of the highlights with Airfix models, to be honest. Painting the little dudes in there, or the little dials and stuff, I would say. But I mean, it's largely... How did I know, Schmitters? How did I know that you're a shelf kind of guy? What can I say? I would say that I based that on all our interactions, and I went with shelf guy. I just got that feeling, you know. My spidey sense was like, yeah, this guy's a landing gear, because the wheel being missing was an issue, and that kind of made me Sherlock my way to shelves. That's how I got there. That's what made me think. So here's a problem, right? As you're a shelf guy, dusting. How on earth do you dust these things? Or maybe I'm going to go out on another assumption. You don't dust them. I think the shelf is quite high up. It's like the top of a bookshelf, set of shelves or something, and they sit so high up that you don't even consider dusting them. That's my next assumption. Oh, we got someone else here. Hang on, I got to do some edge highlighting. To keep them in. Oh, I gone. Oh, I can't get an edge highlight thing fast enough. Right, so what did I just do? The gold on him. He's got a dry, and I'm going to tape him. They're above my monitor, so yeah. So it is a high up shelf, and they're just not dusted. Can I just get a confirmation on the not dusted? I feel like between me and you, Schmitters, they're not dusted. No, blasting with a can of compressed air is a legit form of dusting. Don't let anyone say anything otherwise. Adam, hey, oh yeah, October price hike. So obviously I don't like it. I'm not a fan. There's another cut-off. So basically what I do every year is any models that were released before the price hike, I refuse to buy them new anymore. I won't buy them new because I know they were cheaper and they're just adding on profit or for inflation. So I don't buy them. So they go into, if I happen to come across them secondhand, so I don't. But yeah, it's not great. But I mean, they want to make money. We all know that Games Workshop like to make loads of money, as all companies do. So we've got that thing. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, probably 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, I got priced out of the hobby. So I am kind of like trading. Like what I do is I buy a big box and then I'll sell off bits. And it's been quite good. But I've got like a concept. I haven't completely got the name, but it's like gentleman capitalism or chivalric capitalism. I want to have like that history edge to it, and where it's like enough to continue you in the hobby and have something to do in my table trades. But I've got completely off topic. Yeah, I don't like the price hike. I'm not a fan of the price hike at all. I don't think it's a good look, but it happens every year, so what do you expect? I'm not gonna make enough cash to get the battle forces this year or the assault terminators this year before the pre-orders hit. And frankly, do I even want to compete with that anyway? Francois, hello. I was hoping you would turn up. Actually, I was just talking about something that I wanted to talk to you about. What have you been up to, first of all, before I start ranting again? I'm curious, but I want to pick your brains on my idea. So now I felt like I could have got away with doing the orange ink on the blue, and that might have been more copper. But I'm thinking that as I've committed to it on this guy, I will do the same. But I'm going to splodge this on instead. Napping. Dog napping or you're napping? Out of interest. I think dog napping. Am I on speaker again for the dogs? Am I helping them stay calm? I reckon I am. So, can we just, for those of you that haven't, can we get some, one just went up. Yeah, can I get some likes in, please? I'm trying to get myself some juicy ad revenue. So, yeah, if you'd be willing to do that, that would be swell. If there's 9 of you, if you could just take a moment to click it. Thank you. Appreciate that. That would be a big help. But yeah, so my thing is I'm coming up with a new form of capitalism. Not a new form. It's basically nice capitalism. Regular napping. Okay. So my theory is this, right? It's going to be gentleman or chivalric capitalism. And because I feel like what I don't like is I don't like chasing profit at the expense of all else. I'm not a fan of that. I feel like I don't like predatory. And the reason I got onto this is because Adam was mentioning about the October price hike with GW. Yeah, eventually it's going to be so expensive that it becomes Painter Elite and Elite players only. Especially if you don't live near any Games Workshop store. Yeah, agreed. I totally gave up on trying to be up to date with every edition. but I want to learn a set of rules, but I'm just going to stick with those. I mean, because they retire stuff to Legends, so by the time I finally get an army painted, it feels like it will disappear. That's the problem. So I'm not a fan of the price hike, but I know why it happens. I know that it happens. But I am I am working on a way around it so that I can still engage with the hobby. I quite like that. Now, I'm not going to be able to dab this bit. Although, I say that, I've got the perfect tool for the job. I've got my tape, which is up here somewhere. Right, Francois, you know we were talking about chivalry is knightly code reserved for knights, lords and ladies, nothing but peasants undeserving of chivalry out here. No, I mean, like, I would be the lady. I'd be the lady. Oh, the chivalry. Okay, so maybe not chivalric then. So maybe just gentleman's. I was leaning gentleman's cavalry anyway. I like chivalric because I like the way it sounds. But so what I'm gonna do, Francois, is you remember that Dreadhold we were talking about, and you found it on eBay for what was it, $369 currently, right? I really want to open my Hive Secundus box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer someone on here as opposed to selling it online, because the problem is if I sell it to some stranger, I can't. They get a bit weird when I say, oh, let me know if you manage to sell it for a profit. I'm super curious. But if I sell it to someone on here, then it helps me because I can't hold on to it because I can't keep the cash tied up for years. But as it's already a profit at 369, I figured someone might buy it for €100. The issue, though, is delivery costs. But my theory is with gentleman capitalism is that you're not trying to completely fleece every single penny out of the person, and you're transparent. So my goal, civilized communism. No, surely it's not, Campbell. Full transparency. I want to raise €100 so I can open this Hive Secundus box because I want to paint the Gene Stealers, right? But at the moment, I've got the cash tied up in it, and it has to sit there. I can't open it. So if I sell the Dreadhold, which we know is more valuable, for a lower price, it's a bargain. And so it would, if I sell it to someone on here, it's someone who's actually engaging in the stream as opposed to someone who wouldn't come on and say, hey, table, you know that Dreadhold, I did manage to sell it for $350. Isn't that amazing? And I'd be like, yeah, great. And then I get to talk about it more still, so I can still engage with how it went. Do you know what I mean? And then the other thing is that I can't sit on it. I can't wait X years, but also, I'm not going to list it on eBay. I know I was saying on last stream I was going to sell it on eBay, but I'm not going to sit down and do it. So that's the theory. So I was thinking €100 for the Dreadhold, and I'm thinking of popping out the Saturnine Dreadnought and the gun turret. Now, if anyone's got access to their computer, can they just Google the Saturnine Dreadnought and find me what's the cheapest price you can find it for? Because the other reason is I like getting a bargain. So what I want to do is I want the other person to feel like they're getting a bargain. And what I want is momentum. I want to have table trades going on so that I'm not just bored, because I am a bit of a shut-in. And so I need stuff to occupy me. And then so if I can do my table trades, which I can't do at the moment because my cash is all tied up, then if I can combine that with the stream, then it's another hobby that folds into the stream, which gives me another reason to come and stream. And then, as a result, gives me more opportunity to paint and engage with the hobby. Whoa, that's a lot. The type of capitalism you're describing is Christian capitalism, where you only ask for a modest profit. It's an interesting. So it already exists. It's already a thing. All right, well, yeah, Christian capitalism then. Fine, yeah. I mean, like, I don't like profit at the expense of others, and I don't like the idea of cheating. So, see, how useful is that tape? That's the free mill. There we go. I did that totally unconsciously, putting that tape on. So useful. So useful. Right, I've got a load of that blue. Well, how much is a load? Not really. That's not much of a waste. So it exists. Element Games sells it for around 40 quid. Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say check the discount. So Element Games. So that's the one we're aiming for, because that's UK based, right? And 20% discount is great. So 40 quid, that's what, 45 euros? All firstborn are quite hard to find. Some are quite expensive since Games Workshop pretty much made them slowly disappear. Yeah, well, the firstborn ones. Okay, so realistically, if you were looking for like a super bargain, if you saw 40 quid on Element for the Saturnine, if I said, what, 35 euros for the Saturnine Dreadnought, that would be a bargain, right? That would be like, you would think, let's go check on Table Stream. That sounds like a bargain, right? And I feel like the Dreadhold for 100 euros, which is retailing at $370 at the moment, without even holding on to it, that makes sense, right? See, the reason I'm talking so much about this is because I'm not good with money at all, but I'm trying to figure it out. Where's my tape? There's 2 mils. So that's my theory, because with the price hikes, Games Workshop, I've got to keep them. I want to keep engaging in the hobby, but I've got to get creative with generating the old pocket monies. So I'm just grabbing out a bit. Yeah, well, I mean, there are firstborn still around. People love half the price or discounts. I'm talking people here. I'm talking like, because, yeah, like I said, it's all well and good me offering it to a stranger, but then I can't hit them up later and be like, hey, how's it going with that? Have you managed to like sell that for the amounts that it was listed? And then the other thing that kind of bugs me is that I try and do this like nice discount, and then they ask for yet more. What's £40 in euros? That's the question, because half price might even be as low as 25 euros. And at that point, don't I want to just keep the model? Like what I'm aiming for is that both people feel like they get a good deal, and mine's partly momentum. Like I get something sold, I get to open one of these boxes. I've been looking at these things, and it's really bugging me that I can't open these. Like it's sitting here, and not only is it my table trades tied up, but I can't justify opening them yet. So I need to figure something out. And I thought I'll wait for the ad revenue to pick up, but that could never happen. So yeah, the trouble is, Francois, I don't want to exclude. I don't want to do paid memberships because I don't want to exclude people. Because I want people to join, you know. So I figure like a lot of places do paid memberships, but I don't like, if you've got to pay to get the bargain, is it as much of a bargain, you know? So I think I might for now leave it as just people on the stream. Like if you're on the stream, then you get the opportunity. 40 quid is 45 euros. So if I said 30 euros for the Saturnine Dreadnought, that's a bargain, right? Because then that gets me like 1/3 of the way, almost, well, 30% of the way on that, right? I'd buy a Saturnine Dreadnought for 30 euros. I feel like that's a really good price. I would questionably buy it for that, you know, because you'd get a digital copy of the instructions, or you'd have to go online for it. You wouldn't get a hard copy of the instructions, and you wouldn't get a box. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice idea, Francois, but I think that I think I want to, because I really want the momentum. I really want to actually, the issue is I don't want to just think it. I'm trying to get things to manifest in reality, as opposed to be just thinking, oh, that's a nice idea. So I think 30 euros is a disgustingly good price for a Saturnine Dreadnought. Then the other one, whose name I don't know, is the big gun. 5% off for 8 quid. You only need to buy 150% quid to get. Oh, hang on. This is where I don't get things. This is interesting stuff right here. Yes, it is. It just depends on how much you buy. 5% off for 8 quid. You only need to buy 150% quid to get more discount than the cost of memberships. Many YouTuber channels do this. Okay, so now there's another slight issue that I'm not all that smart when it comes to the mathematics of anything, why am I showing this off stream? I'm just putting this strip on. Like, when it comes to calculating stuff, it sells all boxes, including combat patrols, for example, and it would cost 115. He sells them for $92. Yeah, I feel like that's what I want to do. If the trade goes through YouTube, they would take a cut, and it's not a small cut. They take a big hunk, and I don't think that's so good. So that brings me to the next issue, right? Which is how would you deliver these items? Because then you've got to add the postage. So yeah, €30 for a Saturnine is great, but then if you've got to get it from Europe to the US, and there's a tariff or some issue of delivery, like how much is that gonna cost you? And then it's the other issue that I have to post it out. So some people don't want me to have their postal address, and vice versa. So that's the other issue. So yeah, it's all well and good offering it for a super discount, but if I can't get it to them, then that's the other issue. It's the same problem as the pizza. Yeah, if I want to order someone a pizza, it's that issue. Because I could be it's the same issue, isn't it? It's the same idea. Because if I can do one, I can do both. If I can buy someone a pizza, then I can do this table trade bargains. That's the issue, the trading bit. Now the other one is the big gun, the big quad cannon, gigantic quad cannon. I kind of wanted to keep it for a bit of Titanicus scenery, have it as an orbital gun or anti-orbital gun, but I'm also thinking of selling that. So if someone has access and knows the name of the gun, it's in the Saturnine box. But that's the other thing. But the pizza problem. We can definitely call it pizza problem. £5 off a minimum membership means 5% off. At $100 purchase, you break even as a consumer, but help your favorite YouTuber effectively for free. If you buy more, then you get product of actual discount. The tarantula gun, thank you. What's that on Element Games? But Element Games isn't the highest, is it? There's a 25% off retailer, Hobby Workshop in the UK. They do 25%, but it's a little bit deceptive because Wayland Games says 20, but their initial price tends to be lower. So I don't know how that exactly works. 30 quid again for the gun. Yeah, Wayland Games is my go-to, but then Brexit bloody slapped a delivery charge on things. It's up to €29 now delivery into the EU. It's absolutely extortionate. So now the other problem is I don't want to do paid memberships because I want to get some momentum going. I need to get in gear. I want to start making moves. Like, these are getting listed on the websites that I list them, which isn't eBay, but on the apps that I list them, end of this week. So they're just going to end up getting listed, aren't they? Because we've got the pizza problem. Wayland is my go-to. I do like Wayland. Even with the delivery costs, I think they're the best. Yeah, I do think Wayland's the best. They are my go-to. Because what I do is every year I send one or two stuff to my brother or my parents. Okay, but won't break up Saturnine box to sell you just a dreadnought. Yeah, I'm not asking Wayland to break the box. I want to break my box because I want the Saturnine Terminators, I want the Saturnine Praetor, and I wouldn't mind the infantry. But I also want the rules. So the Dreadnought I'm kind of on the fence about. In person it looks really good, and I saw it at the Games Workshop on Saturday. But I don't know about... Yeah, it's the pizza problem. Schmitters is right. It's the friggin... the pizza pickle. I mean, Wayland Games ain't no slouch on their shipping, especially UK-based shipping. It gets out there. Oh, why am I taking more tape off? There's loads on the wall. But I personally like Wayland over Element. I don't often order from Element. I check Element if I can't find something on Wayland. Typically, that's what I do. For those of you that are watching, if you haven't already slapped on a like, I would love some help getting myself on the ad revenue train. And it seems that YouTube does like the the likes. My ad revenue is like I'm somewhere around 17 cents a day. So if you could slap a like on for me, that would really help me with trying to get onto that whatever this algorithm thing is. How fast is real fast? Same day dispatch? Must be something like that to be. I mean, clearly it's impressed you, so. But Element Games is. Oh no, I don't know why I don't use them. I just don't use them. Right, I need a pair of tweezers for these stripes. Same day dispatch. Okay, that's fantastic. Next day delivery. That is fast. Let's be honest, that is fast. Ironically, that's the speed that I go by on Table Trades when I sell things on these apps. I dispatch it same day or next morning. The only day I can't do is Sundays. Let's have a look at those figures. There was something numbers orientated. I send a like also on Amazon. They're selling 92 for Combat Patrol. Oh, okay, so they're already. So we need to go a little lower in that case. Next day delivery. You buy a full box from Wayland at 20% off. Divide entire box costs by contents. Sell at full price. Offer 5, 10, 15% discount. Well, the issue with that, the 5, 10, 15% discount to members, is that discount I don't think a lot of people go for. Certainly strangers. They don't go for that. They're just like, yeah. The issue is, I mean, like, it would have to be, yeah, it's, I think I need something better, and I'm not sure what that is. Because like I say, what I want is a momentum. I want to hit these self-imposed milestones that I've put in. So I, like, the issue is, if I'm honest, is that I'm in a cupboard and I don't talk to anyone outside of streams. So I'm trying to get social, not be so socially weird, and also have stuff to do to keep my brain going so I don't get stranger. So I need momentum. I want to have things to do. Like, my brain needs multiple things. That's why I'm painting so many models at once. I send a like also on Amazon. Oh, thank you. That's an old comment. Discounts from a person should be 20% because they are buying from a person, not a company. Yeah, I just feel like with the shipping as well, there needs to be, I feel like there's something, maybe there's something. So, like I say, I want to do this, what was it, Christian capitalism. I want to have that. That's the staple. I'm not trying to make a fortune here. So I'm not sure on where to go with this. But I feel like there's something in it that's entertaining for me. Like, because, well, I've explained it as best I can. I don't think I can explain it better than that. Let's do these stripes. So I've got my sponge, a little bit of a bad-uns. Discounts from a person should be 20%. Could throw extra bits in. So what I have been doing is, with my table trades, I have been throwing in some random bits and bobs and a little thank you note. I have been doing that. And I think that this brings me back to the pizza thing, because this originally was me wanting to order people pizza, but then I thought, like, the idea would be that I'd throw in a little extra thing, and that would make it like, oh, I'll go on Table's stream. He's nice. He drops something up. He drops something else into the box. You know, like, if you're going to spend your time hanging out with me on here, which is bloody appreciated, I want to do something more for you guys as well. But it's the friggin' pizza crisis. Okay, that's on a bit thick, but I'm going to whip that off whilst it's still wet. I'll do that on camera as well. Yeah, but throwing extra bits in, I like that too. That's the way to go. So that's just something that I'm rattling around, but that's a nice stripe. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know how I can get it going. Like, but I will do the Saturn for 30. I just don't know how we're going to figure this one out. I might end up just listing it on the sites. Custom mini you paint for a customer. Now that's a nice idea, but when I've painted a model, they kind of become like a little gem. Like I keep all my painted models to show that I've done, like how I've progressed. So I think custom painted model is quite a big ask. Ironically, I do have about 50 handmade custom toys that I sewed. Little tiny little. Hang on, where are they? Where are they actually? Are they nearby? I think they're nearby. Hang on, I'll show you. So there's those stripes. They've come out a real treat. Ah, I love these guys. Whilst I've got the blacks, actually, I might just... Hang on, let me grab a brush. Let's just get a little bit of black. Oh, there's no black there. Is there any on the sponge? No. Right, let's... I just want to put a little bit under here. It doesn't need to be like super accurate. It just needs to be just a smidge, just like the barest hint of a bit of black there. You wouldn't even know. It's a nice looking, and he's not even done yet. I'm gonna find the handmade toys because it's relevant, and then I'm gonna read that chat because it sounds like some interesting number stuff. No, can't find them. Can't find them on first look, so I'm not going to start rummaging. If I can't find it quickly, then we just have to take my word for it. Let's have a look. So, reputation is very important, more than profit. It's about earning people's respect. Since Games Workshop disrespect the fans, they do, and I feel like we kind of deserve a little bit better. I do feel like we deserve a little bit better, and that ties into something else that I've been thinking about, because we do deserve something a little bit better with trading the hobby, because there's GW obviously, but then there's also the people who buy up all the pre-orders, buy up all the big boxes really fast. So I don't necessarily want to be buying up loads of these boxes. Like, I think I'd do like 2. That's the toughie, because I am essentially doing the same thing, but I gave up trying to buy them because I wanted them. Basically, Francois said that he buys like 2, keeps 1, uses 1, and I feel like that's kind of what I want to do. I'm not trying to like make super big bucks. Since Games Workshop yeah, they do. Yeah, look for $5 a month and you get 5 off. It's fine for me. Why? I don't want the Saturnine box. I just want the turret. You buy the 150 box and say the turret is 50, saves me 100 on buying. Yeah, but then, yeah, I mean, like, I understand the math. Like, say I say $50 for the tarantula, but then it's got to get from Finland to the US. How much extra are you paying for the shipping? At what point does the additional shipping charge just make you think, oh, I'll just buy the box myself and then sell off the bits? You earn back the money you invested and $5 on the membership. If you bought the box off at 20%, you can earn 20% back in profits. Yeah. All right, well, let's just throw it out there. We've got 7 people in here. Let's take a little census. 7 people. Would you do that? Would you pay a membership? The thing is, I wouldn't pay a membership. Like, I wouldn't pay a membership to get a discount. But then again, yeah, that's the issue. I don't think you need to vote on that. If you bought a box at 20% off, you can earn that 20% profit by membership. Well, membership includes domestic shipping only. Maybe at top tier, you offer international shipping. Yeah. I feel like this is solid. Like, there's nothing wrong with this advice. It's just that where's my orange ink? The issue is that it's kind of getting a bit big. That's the thing. So it's not going to be super massive. It's only worth it if you buy a lot of offset, the membership. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to. And I have to have a lot of stuff. What I've got at the moment is the Tarantula, the Saturnine, the Dreadfort. That's what I've got so far. So it's not, I think it would have to be like what, 50 items, 100 items for it to be like, oh yeah, you know what, that membership's worth it. And regular updates of items as well. You'd be looking at a large operation. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm trying to do this. Like, I don't... Yeah, like a big company. I really don't like faceless corporation stuff. Now, the reason I mention this about buying and selling stuff is because I hate buying and selling stuff. Like, it took a long time, but many a year ago, I was actually held at gunpoint, right? I was held hostage on Christmas Eve morning working in a Toys R Us, right? Pretty traumatic experience, came through it. But then I heard the next day after I'd gone home, the area manager had come down and he weaponized the people who had been held hostage and used it as a motivating factor to get everybody on the day shift to increase sales. And on hearing that, something just was like I was just disgusted. And so I kind of hated thinking about money and selling stuff, making a profit. So I don't like telling this story. I should have told it. But the fact that I'm now thinking in these terms again is actually, I think, ultimately quite healthy. But it's got to be a better version. Yeah, scalpers. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, there's just... so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab this on. And then once it's covered, I'm going to basically stick it in my t-shirt and take off the top surface. But I've got to be quicker than this. So let's just get that on. And then... Right, I'm going to... yeah, I've got to be faster than that. T-shirt out. There we go. What do you think? That look okay? I think that's alright. It's still got some orange going on there. That bit in the arm is a bit sucky. I might need to try and get some of that out. Can someone explain to me exactly what scalping is? Is it selling fakes? Or is it just hiking the price? I'm not exactly sure what scalping means. There you go, that orange is coming out just fine. Yeah, that's okay. Just once I dry that, it will be out. Oh, I haven't scrolled down on the chat. No, I have scrolled down on the chat, actually. I think I'm going to live with that orange. I think it's alright. It looks a little bit not orange in places, though. Let's just put a little bit more around those rivets. Business model I'm describing is how several Warhammer YouTube channels are able to support their household. Scalpers buy loads of minis and then hike the price. Ah, yeah, okay. So that's what scalping is. Yeah, the question is, right? So, loads of Warhammer channels are doing it, so it's clearly a good idea. Are these large channels? You know? Are these, like, big channels doing this? Because I'm talking on a super small scale. Like, we've only been doing this now... We've only been streaming now for like 10 days. Speaking of that, where's Arcane? Often they do it with limited edition things. Anything limited edition, yeah, I guess that would be easy to get scalped on. You know what? Maybe I don't even... I'm going to try doing this without tape. Let's see if I can manage it. Wah! Wah! That little bit is just... It's gonna bleed over, isn't it? It's gonna bleed over. Whoa. Do I even want to dab that? I'm gonna dab it just to give it a bit of texture. I think it's already dried a little bit. I don't know. I quite like it. I think spattering it on is better. I could live with that. Yeah, I quite like it. But that looks kind of coppery to me. Maybe. Yeah, big channels. So let's style it. Let's like take that business model with the big channels and let's just dial it back down to the absolute minimum, the starting step. So we still have the pizza problem. Like, how are these big channels getting it posted out to people? Because like they must be operating on trust. Is the item being paid for and then they're sending out and they're operating on trust, or are they waiting for payment once the item's gone out? Because I mean, I've been cheated more than a few times with people not paying for stuff. So maintain viewer retention. You could auction the items to your members on live streams, similar to TNG pack openings. Auction. What about if we did reverse auction? What about if we had the item, right? What if we had the item we had? So say I said, so let's take the Dreadhold, right? No, let's take the Saturnine as we talked about the most. Let's say it starts at $100 at the start of the stream, right? And over time it ticks down. So it goes down whatever amount, X amount of time, it keeps going down. And then it's going to get to the point where I think it could get quite exciting because people will be like, okay, that's getting to be a pretty good deal. Someone's going to snap that up. And so it's kind of like the will you, won't you kind of thing. So like a reversey auction, kind of like a reversey auction. I think that's quite a novel idea. I can't think of it. I think that's quite a nice idea because it could be a bit exciting. Reversey auction. I don't know. It needs a catchier name than reversey auction. Right, so we've got that Skag Brown. I feel like I want to... Do I want to put another coat or should I just edge highlight that? I might just edge highlight that. I didn't get a tile. I didn't get around to a tile, unfortunately. Reversey auction sounds nice. Or ideally, I'd have a display and it would tick down for me over time. And then someone would have to shout out in chat when they wanted it. I could go for that. Right, Skag Brown. Have I already got it? No, that's Armageddon Technical. Let's have a look for some browns. It would have to be pay up front, wouldn't it? But then I mean, I guess, you know, you get stuff delivered to your house all the time, so you having to give out your address to get the item wouldn't be such an issue. Just the postage issue, calculating the postage costs. I haven't got any of that stuff set up. Sandry Dust. Could that be our highlight? I think I'm going to go with that as my highlight. But let's have a look. So, it's very bright. It could work. I'm gonna give it a go. You always pay up front. No, you don't like my reverse auction. Hang on. Appreciate you taking the time to explain this stuff to me. You got to label the stream Saturnine Tarantula Turret and then start the stream with the auction at the bare minimum to cover your investment. Members can only then bid on the item in stream. Let's take a little bit of this. I'm going to do some edge highlighting, I think. I want to do these trousers. If I could just Skag Brown it and then Xandri Dust highlight it, then that's a lot of Xandri Dust. I don't need that much. Driving chat engagement, highest bidder, then applies to their membership discount, makes payment, then you ship. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I need to find out shipping costs. But then, I guess, like, say they won the bidding, then you check up the postage costs and you let them know, and then you give them the opportunity to accept or refuse based on how bad the shipping costs are. And if they don't want it, then it goes back into the auction. I would want to give people the opportunity to do so. I feel like competition perhaps for engagement where you paint a mini and then the better painted, the bigger the discount. People will show up just to see who wins auctions. You finalise the auction at the end of the stream, maintaining viewers the entire stream. Yeah. So would the auction be... So if the auction was in chat, you would just say, I've got a Saturnine Dreadnought. Put your offer in the chat? Is that how we would do it? Like, should we do it that way? I don't know if that's... And what if someone in chat is just, like, mucking about and they just say they win the bid and they never... Well, I guess if they just win the bid and then they're messing about, then you just re-auction it, I guess. There's no harm done there. Shipping is easy. Flat rates are available. You can bake into membership costs 1 free shipping. Yeah. Alright, well, should we just do one? Should we just give it a go? It's like, should we just try an auction right now for the Saturnine? Should we just do that? Should we just try and see if we can I mean, well, first of all, is anyone even in stream interested in the Saturnine and or the Tarantula? Well, let's just say either. And if there's any interest whatsoever, I feel like someone's going to get a bargain. I don't mind. Like I say, I'm just trying to get to that Secundus level because I don't like them sitting there and not being opened. I really want to get those. I mean, in a perfect world, it would be the Typhon box, but I say start small, aim small. Ban that user and re-auction item. Yeah, you could do a ban and re-auction, yeah. No, and that's why I didn't start talking about this beforehand, Schmitters. I wanted to talk to you about your aeroplane. But this is something that me and Francois have been talking about a little bit. And he's got like some kind of super brain. So it's nice to be able to like kick these ideas about. Because I wouldn't be kicking these ideas about. I would just be trying to mull them over myself. And I do feel like getting them out there and chewing them over is the way to go. I think the Xandri dust really works. You can also do, well, Schmitters. I've still got those tanks, Schmitters. I've still got those tanks hanging about. Shall I get them? I'm going to get them for you, Schmitter. I don't want you to feel left out. I'm going to get those tanks. Hang on. I know you said Italian, but they're not Italian, that's for sure. But I don't want you to be left out, Schmitters. Hang on. So, 1 in 72. We got a Cromwell. You get a garage from World of Tanks and some currency. There's a Tiger 2. And there's also my personal favourite, a Panzer III. I don't think anyone's going to buy a Panzer III. I think people prefer the higher caliber tanks. But yeah, so there's those Schmitters. Don't think I'm not thinking of you. I know they're not Italians, but frankly, I don't think did the Italians even have a tank. You can also do like an example if people are long-term subscribers. I like the long-term subscribers because there is an indicator when someone comments and they get a little logo next to their name, and it makes me happy when you see like someone who's been like 4 years or whatnot. So that's nice. They should definitely get something. Those are tempting options. I'm a sucker for early tanks. The Panzer III. I like the barrel. The gun, it just looks a bit... it's just a little like... It was a workhorse, and they used it an awful lot to begin with. Okay, so there's a little bit of love for the Panzer III. I'm not the only one. Yeah, I think it's a nice little tank. But I'll be honest, with the aeroplane kits and the tank kits and the ship kits, I don't think I have the skill to do those. So I'm just going to try a tiny bit of edge highlighting with this, but I feel like this might be too much. But if I just do those loops... Hey, those loops went really well. Yeah. Like, case in point, I bought the Tyranid Combat Patrol, the new one, because I wanted the Tyrant Guard and the Biovore and the Parasite Mortex, and I sold off the Gene Stealers, and it just kind of took the sting out of the cost a little bit. But then the guy was super happy to get the Stealers, and I got to have a little chat with him about Games Workshop when he came to pick them up. That's all I want, really. Like randomly picked factions of your choosing, like goodie bag. Okay, the Tarantula Turret NIB new inbox with free shipping is $51 online. You buy it from the big box. Baked in discount to you, your profits. You start auction at 45. Maybe you get one bid, maybe 10. The brand it's the same as my glue. Revel? Is it Revel? Yeah, Revel. Yeah, Revel. It's a Revel kit, is what it is. And if we're doing Christian trade, I bought it for 10. Right? I bought it for 10. It retails at 20, but I bought it for 10. So take that information with what you will. Like, I'm not trying to... Anything over 10 is a profit for me. But then we've got to factor in postage, so... but I feel like I want to be transparent with this. You know, I don't want to. I'm not trying to keep things secret and like make a super fortune. It cost me 10. That's quite a nice edge highlight. I think we might be onto something with Skag Browns, Andrew. Panzer Free, what's your price? Oh yeah, that's one. Maybe $1. Maybe you make 10. I'm only just dipping into painting, so I got a lot to learn. Best part of the fun of the hobby, Schmitters, learning. Okay, that's interesting. So if Rebel kits are mid, what's a good World War II model kit? What companies do the good ones? That's an interesting thing. I've not had anyone say that about Rebel. No one's really had an opinion until now. I'm kind of curious. Oh, that's a delicious... I did that edge. I think painting every day is really starting to help with the edge highlights. If this works for brown, this is just going to be such an easy brown to do. Because it is just one thin coat of Skag Brown. Skag Brown? Oh, they're children's kits. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I wish I had thought about that before I bought 4 kits. One sold, at least, for $11.50. So that's like, what, 15% profit? Is that right? That's more painting than highlighting what I've done there. I think it looks right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, if they don't sell, what I'll do is I'll open them and start playing World of Tanks and get the garages. So it's not completely. If I don't get the €30 back from the free kits, it's not the worst. It's more having these here. It's more the itch because it's almost worse than not having it because it's sitting right here. That's the thing. You got a Beetle kit. How many models, Schmitters, have you got just sitting around? It sounds like you might have more than a couple of Airfix models floating around. Yeah, I think if I'm going to keep them, I'd assemble them. But maybe they would be a good start for me if they are like kiddie entry level, because I haven't really done those. Oh, okay, only the bomber fighter in the car. That's fine. The rest are finished, although I never painted most of them because that was garbage. Well, how are you going to get better if you don't... Okay, so the quality varies wildly. With the bidding thing, what Francois was saying, I feel like the opening bid is too high because there's also the entertainment element. Like, I need to have fun with it, and I feel like if I just start the bidding off really high, then the idea of both getting a bargain, maybe I'm not cut out for this trading lark. Maybe I'm too much of a, I don't know, I don't want to say soft touch, but I think I'm looking for something that just isn't in trading, because I'm not exactly making a fortune here, but I'm not even making much of anything when you factor in like packing tape. Problem with Rebel. Okay, I have 100k of GW models in my bunker. I'm not buying nothing plastic super heavies. No, I don't. To be honest, Francois, I don't think you need to buy another model. I think you've got like a lifetime of stuff already. I really don't think you need to be buying anything else. Quite frankly, but the idea of having a keg at a game was kind of interesting. Even if it's just a half keg, I think it's still a nice touch. Learning tanks and infantry, some of their kits. What scale are the Tamiya ones? Are they 1x72, or would they happen to be 1x56? Can you get 1x56 scale World War II models? That's a good question, and I'm sure Schmitters, you'd also be interested in that, as we were talking about proxies. Long-term subscribers, they get various factions handpicked by you. A random model kit. A random model kit. You don't know what you get. You get told it's Games Workshop. You get told it's Element Games value, but you don't know what the model is. Yeah, you don't know what the model is, but I honestly tell you what its value on Element Games is. But you don't get to know what it is. And you can specify if you really don't want like Legion Imperialis or something. But then other than that, you get to choose if it's like, say you want a 40k model, but you don't get to know what it is until it arrives. That's the kind of idea that I like, but I'm pretty sure that's more of me, because I'd quite like that. Okay, so it's 1 in 35. So that makes them bigger, way bigger. But Schmidt says he's seen a decent amount of ones. Why start it high? In your example, retail is 20, so you pay and start at 10. People are not likely to bid more than 20. No, you're right. You're right. If we're talking about the tank, you're absolutely right. I think I'd do ground vehicles in 1 in 52, because 1 in 72 people are only 2 centimeters tall. Agreed. Yeah, you know what? That's true. It is too expensive to buy blind. Yeah, it is. You're right. It was a nice idea in theory, but it just wouldn't. People just wouldn't. You're right. It's too expensive just to get a random model, because you could get some real doozies out there. Yeah, you're right. It won't work. You know what I am going to do on these boots? I am actually going to edge highlight up the seam there. I am actually going to do that right there. Oh, it's a very, very thick highlight, but I'm all right with that. It's all good practice. I'm really liking. Okay, so we've got it. Xandri Dust highlights on Scrag Brown is the way to go. It's my new brown fabric go-to, because there's enough texture under the Scrag Brown, but then the highlights can just bring it out, and it's pretty quick to do, relatively quick to do, and I really am enjoying that. And I don't normally enjoy doing the browns, but this is nice. It's relatively quick, and it's fun edge highlighting it. Oh, I'm going to do that bit. Whoop. That's something really satisfying about that. There's something really satisfying about doing edge highlights and it going okay. I haven't actually fluffed one yet. I did one that was a little bit too thick, but it wasn't any. I haven't done anything that I've had to take off, which is nice. I am going to put a little bit in there, and if it's a little bit bigger, you can just do the whole surface. Even if I could pick Space Marines as a faction option, I can't afford to buy a 17th Captain model sent to me because it was blind Space Marine purchase. Yeah, you're right. It definitely doesn't work. It's true. It wouldn't work. Yeah, that one can immediately be put in the bin. Okay, so let's dial it back even more. Let's say, well, it is the case. It's the same issue as the pizza. I've got some I got some models. Some of them free, some of them just included in bigger buys that I did. What if I just wanted to send them out? What if I just wanted to send stuff out? Would I say like, hey, you buy this, I'll throw in these free? Maybe that could be it. Maybe I say like, you buy this, and I just start adding random models that I've got lying around to the item until someone's like, yeah, I'll buy it, and then I just throw in the goodie bag as well, and then that could increase over the course of the stream as well. And while most people don't have many captains, any model you can use, you'd feel bad. Yeah, because you've got to spend time with it, haven't you? So the blind wouldn't work because, you've got to spend time. You've got to assemble it, paint it. So if you just got a doozy, you're not going to have the motivation to do it because you're most likely going to have a lot more models that you're more interested in doing. So you just wouldn't do it. It would just sit in your cupboard, wouldn't it? You just wouldn't do it. Okay, that's the first highlight I sort of messed up. That was a little bit ropey. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's all right. I think I've definitely got better in just this short amount of time. Yeah, because the thing is, with adding the freebies, what I also want to consider is I want to entertain myself. So I think like that getting nicer and nicer is good. And I also want to think about me on my poorest day and be like, oh, if I bought that, I'd get all these extra bits. And getting those little extra bits, that's the bit I really like. And I really like it. I like getting a little random extra something. So essentially I'm trying to sell something to myself, and I've tried to think of what it is that I would really like, because I like when I get a bargain, and I like when I get a little freebie something. So I want other people to have that feeling, have that fun. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm kind of trying to sell to me. That's what I'm trying to do. So definitely mystery model out. What if the free model was a mystery model? Ah, yeah. What about that? What if the freebies that went in were mystery models? What if I was like, this model, this is a figure or a squad. It's going in with the order, but I won't tell you what it is. But this is. Would I even say the value? I would say the value was between such and such and such and such. Or maybe that's a conversation in itself. What if the freebies going in, you didn't know what they were? You just saw their size. Maybe. What if we did that? If it was just a mystery item? So is there one in 72 is smaller? Okay, so bolt action's a bit of a random scale then. I wonder if they chose 1 in 52 so that people wouldn't proxy their models. I think that's what that is. What I like about this edge highlighting is I'm making the trousers into a character of their own. This is definitely the brown for me, and it's making these trousers like the fun bit. I'll just put a bit more on there. I might try the bottom of the belt. Let's try that. Just go along the bottom line there. Not so concerned about the top edge as long as the seam where the belt and the trousers meet isn't filled in. That worked out really well. I'm gonna do an auction. I feel like many lots, mystery free item, or items, depending on if anyone's not that vocal. But rather than just doing it on a Friday, I think I will just do it when we've got like what I would consider a lot of people. So at the moment, I consider 10 people watching a lot of people. So what I will do is I will set up an auction tomorrow, like the bits and pieces ready. And if we go over 10, I'll be like, we're doing an auction. And I'll change the description of the live stream to auction. $105 subs is $500 a month. Yeah, and that's like $500 is an astronomically large amount of money. That is almost as much as I bring in a month at the moment. So that is a huge amount of money. If you auction 1 item a week, you ship 4 items, you'll make a profit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. My issue is not that I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't think we would get enough people as a paid sub for the auction to actually happen. That's my fear. I think we might get like 1 or 2, in which case the auction wouldn't be frightfully exciting. That's my concern. So I think we might have to initially... I'm getting a bit creative with these edge highlights. I also need to speed up a bit. There's quite a lot of paint drying on this brush. Let's just... But then if people aren't a paid... You know how it is that if people aren't a paid sub, it's like, well, I'll bid on this. I don't have to buy it anyway. And they're a bit flippant with it. But then I feel like a paid sub would care more about... Oh, I don't know. I'm getting a bit stuck now with where to go on this. My input is not that great, and that boot highlight is a shambles. All right, let's finish up these boot highlights. It's just the inside leg of the trousers. Oh, I messed that one up as well. All right, so I've messed up 2 now. Hang on a second. No, because it's deceptive. It says 33k, but this is 33k from 2016. We've not seen positive growth on the channel for some time, and also they're not here for Warhammer. They're here for the gamies, the ones that are active. And I've got like the gang on Discord, but I don't want them to feel like they have to pay because they've been with me for years. I don't want them to feel they have to pay to hang out or get part of the goodies. You know, I'm pretty sure only a few of them are interested in Warhammer, but I don't know. See, I'm contradicting myself. I told you, Francois. I told you that I contradict myself all the time. I think there's no way to get 100. There's no way. Not a possibility. And it would... No, I don't like it. Something doesn't feel right. What if we just said subbed? What if we just said subbed? Subbed will get you in initially. I don't know. I'm getting a bit stuck. Right, inside leg is... That's pretty much done. Let's get that in water. Let's stop there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's again the pick a lane issue. Yeah, I've never been good at picking lanes. I like that highlight. Yeah, well, yes, but it's also kind of depressing if I go to all the effort of making it and no one's interested, because then, like, I don't like... Oh, no, it doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. I think I've got to figure something out. I think there's got to be... I don't think paid subs is something that the people who hang out with me, I'd want them to have to feel like they have to do. At the moment, I like the trousers. Question is the beard. I mean, it's already pretty dark. I might just put... What colour beard? If I just edge highlight Corax white, I'm just going to edge highlight Corax white. Why not? That's loads. Where's my synthetic? The thing is, yeah, you say choose what makes money, but all I want to do at this point, all I want to do is open me box. That's it at this point. I just want to open me boxes. Ooh, hey, 10-minute history. Having a name on a mini. I like that. That adds, because that also adds character to the model. That's a lovely. That is that's a lovely idea. I really like writing someone's name on the base of a mini. I really like that because then it would be their name going into when I play the game. I love that idea. I love that idea. I'm just thinking like Schmidt as the Gene Stealer. I love that idea so much. Yeah, I really, really like that idea. The idea of Schmitters scurrying down air vents trying to eat you. Yeah, I really like that idea. Name on a model, I like that a lot. And I also like the positivity from Francois as well. Yeah, it did grow to 33, it's true. It did grow. Didn't happen overnight, nope. 1,000 live viewers. I mean, the other day, what was it, 2 days ago? We had 15 at one point, and I came out of the stream feeling giddy. So, if it was anything like that, then it must be like an immense feeling. Where's my Corex White? There you are. Yeah, it is definitely doing something, Schmitters, and it's what it is it's helping me a lot. Like I want to be on here. I'm actively thinking about what I can do on here and how I can fold in my other interests and have conversations. And like I've had more social in the past 9 days than I have in the past 9 months. It's just astronomical. And I've even been thinking like, oh yeah, crack open one of these boxes and I'd be like, I'd just rent a place for the day and I'd go set it up and I can just live stream on my phone and we can play the game and just sit and hang out and there'd be a bit more room. I was like, oh, I could just play it on my on this room's floor. And like I'm thinking about these things. So mainly the biggest thing, Schmitters, is that this streaming thing is helping me. I didn't have to do anything to this beard, just edge highlight in Corex White. Can we just take a moment? Can I just say that I'm edge highlighting these hairs individually and I haven't made a mistake yet? Like, they've just gone fine. What kind of tanks? Finished the ship, that's definitely taking 3 months. Yeah, and people, you get to choose a chapter or a colour. This has already attracted new folk. Yeah, so the new folk, the new people, that really blew me away as well. That I've been talking to new people. That's really kind of cool. I can't think of a bigger compliment than someone arriving and then choosing to stay. Because, you know, we've all got a finite amount of time and people wanting to spend it hanging out with you kind of feels nice. Because it's like, oh, okay, so, you know, there are people that have similar interests and like talking about similar things. I'm going to do the inside of this hair. Just like that. There we go. And what I like is these conversations wouldn't happen if I hadn't fired up the phone, you know? They just wouldn't, these conversations just wouldn't have happened. And how much more painting I've got done. I'm thinking that this hair has worked out. Francois, my email is just the channel. It's just tableandchums@gmail.com. That's what it is. Table and Chums. Although the channel's just called Table now, but yeah, originally it was Table and Chums. I would love to read that. Yeah, I'd really, really like that email. Table and Chums, all lowercase. Table and Chums, and that's at Gmail. Yeah, I would read that. I would like that a lot. That would be really nice. Thank you. Appreciate that. And also, may I say as well, the streams ain't half helping my painting ability. The thing with, yeah, but that brings me back to why I don't really like. I feel a little bit like real life is getting a little bit too much like Rust. in that it just feels like everyone's in such a mad scramble for me, and they're just trampling anyone around for any reason. And I don't want my life to feel like I'm just running around in Rust. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like we need to just... I feel like I need... Because we're all social animals. I just need to, like, interact. I need to interact with people. I need to talk to people. And you can't just close up. Like, yeah, someone treats you like crap. You can't be like, right, well, people are crap. I'm not gonna reach out to people. Because the alternative is you just end up not out and interacting with people, and you miss out on that social, which we all need. We're all social creatures. Look at his beardy mustache. That was a real treat. I'm going to go out and say it. I think ogres are the rebels of Warhammer. I think you start off with your orcs or your death guard, where you can just make loads of mistakes, but when you want to get started, like doing edge highlights, I think they're the way to go. I would say he's done. He's done. My first friggin' ogre. Fantastic. The last ones I did were an absolute disaster. Hosting auctions for members isn't stepping on toes. Participation is 100% voluntary. Yes, agreed. If we don't have the paid for point, because maybe I can't afford $5. I've got to think in terms of me at my poorest point. Maybe $5 is, a lot. It is a lot. So I feel like, certainly to start with, I can't put that initial payment thing on initially. I don't feel like, because I've got to think I've got to keep it in terms of me at my poorest. I think that's what I need to do. So I'm gonna do the teeth. With the gums, I don't know what to do with the gums. He's got very clean teeth. We'll use a yellow wash for that. These lips, I kind of want to make them a different colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a white, ever so slightly, and then I will just put on a little bit of purple ink on those lips. This guy just happened to have a beard, unfortunately, but I wanted to do stubble. I wanted to do like a little bit of watered down grey and give them stubble, but did I get his nose a little bit there? I think I did, ever so slightly. And I might just do that wart the same colour as the teeth. His face. Yeah, if you can't afford the membership, you can't afford the models. Well, no, that's a bloody good point as well, actually. That is a bloody good point. Use like green on his... Got mould on his teeth. Alright, deal. But I'll have to go yellow then green. Alright, fine. Let's get that. I'll go green. I'll go a green ink. Perfect, here we go. We got orc flesh. Let's put on a tiny bit of that. And then if I have to, I can just do a bit of white and then go yellow. But let's put a little bit of green in his mouth. Just a tiny bit. Let's see if we can just get the recesses. That's a lovely touch. I like that a lot. That's a nice idea. Let's just go in with a teeny bit of green. But I really love the names on the models. I like, because if I am going to do what I want to do and move into actually playing these games, I love the idea of the people in the fight having a name of someone I know. So when they meet a horrible and untimely demise at the hands of some horrible creature, speaking of horrible creatures, I found out about a race in the Ghost Stars whose planet, they did an exterminatus. The Black Templars did an exterminatus on the planet, and it didn't harm the planet. I need to find out more about Ghost Stars monsters, because I never heard of a Xenos race before defying an exterminatus. I thought an exterminatus was the end deal, done deal. But no, the planet endured. Their homeworld endured. They led a crusade against them, but they couldn't destroy the homeworld, and the aliens had fled somewhere. That was pretty friggin' amazing to hear about. I need a yellow. Ah, here we go. Here's a yellow. What's this? Imperial Fist Yellow. Well, that's the colour we're using now. Who said green tea? Thanks for the suggestion. I like that a lot. There we go. There's a little bit of... The trouble with the green is that it's so strong. Oh, I've got a little bit of his lip there. Let's get that purple. I know I've definitely got a purple ink. Oh, hello, what's this? Volubus Pink. We're going to go for his lips. I wanted them to be a little bit more blue. Yeah, okay. I think yeah. I think nothing's set in stone. I think it might be so. I think if we had like 1,000 people in here, I'm sure there would be people in there that would want to do that. These lips are very pink. Maybe this is too pink. Maybe this is too pink. Oh, you look absolutely radiant. Look, can we just take him? Just look at that. Look at that mush. I think I'm going to put a little bit of blue, ever so slight bit of blue on those lips. Or purple. A purple would be good. I think they're a bit pink at the moment. Ah, here's the ink I wanted to use. Jacari Violet. There we go. Let's go Jacari Violet. This should get the effect that I'm after. Let's just pop a bit of this on. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Oh, he looks like he needs to... The yellow is too yellow. Or what do we think about the yellow? Is the yellow too yellow? Is it too much? Or should we just leave him like that? Maybe we should just leave him like that. Maybe that's his... Maybe... I don't know. I don't know about the teeth. Maybe we just leave the teeth. I would say he's done, right? All we've got to think about is basing. What a little... First one. Now I'm thinking about the eyes, though. But let's quit while we're... Teeth look great? Okay. We're keeping him. He's done. So he ascends now. He doesn't go back on the lazy Susan. He's done. So... He now goes in the cabinet. I got 3 more ogres up here. We won't start them today, but I got 3 more. I specifically went out into the cold to spray paint these. I thought I was done base coating stuff, but we got 3 more. Ah, man, I'm so pleased I finally got a colour scheme for the bloody ogres. Getting the colour schemes right is the hardest thing. It really is. Who wants to be on the base? Who wants a name? Who wants to be on? Who wants to be this guy? No paid membership. Who wants to be this ogre? I don't know if I'm ever going to get into an old world game, but you will be in the ranks. Who wants it? First one to type is in. First one to type is on the base. Yeah, there's a little bit. Who wants it? Who wants him? Give me your name. Give me the name. First name's on. First name is on that guy. I'll leave him on the lazy Susan until someone types. There's no top end. Just because you're on this one doesn't mean you can't be on others. We'll do it across all game systems. I'm just going to wait for a bit. Just going to wait for someone to say. Right, I want to do this one's base because then you can ascend as well. So I've got the... I managed to find the technical dust. A name on this guy is also up for grabs actually because he's about to ascend. So the Ravager and the Ogre can have their names on something if you want it. And then this is where I kind of like prove my own point when no one pipes up. Where's the sculpting tool? There we go. That's what I need. So I'm just going to take out some of this. You have to be quite generous with the amounts. Let's take that for starters. The stream's quieting down a little bit, eh? Schmitters, you're the first one, dude. You're the ogre. That's you, Schmitters. I will write your name on once I've finished this spump. It takes about 24 hours to dry, but it's quite hard to get into that recess. I'm gonna have to. I don't know why I've got the thicker of the two tools, but oh, the Iron Warrior. Yeah, we didn't actually go back to that, did we? Yeah, we didn't go back to that. I'll do the name on the Iron Warrior. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the underside so that when something happens to them, I get the excitement of checking if it is someone, if they get into a certain combat or something. Right, I've got to try and nudge this in as far as possible. It doesn't have to be super on the seam, frankly, because a load of ink is going to go in there anyway. What I'm trying to do is just get enough in so that I don't have to think about it too much. There we go. That's enough. And then we're just trying. Once you've got in there, though, there's actually not a lot of space around this edge, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I'll do the names after this guy. Yeah. It was the name on the model that did it, wasn't it? As soon as I got excited about that, everyone was like, oh, no, I don't want that. But I thought Schmidt as the Gene Stealer was a lovely idea. But, I thought that'd be quite nice. I'm definitely going to do it. I want everyone... On the first game I try and play, I want everyone to have a name. So, be it Kill Team or Hive Secundus, everyone's going to be a character. I want that amusement where I can refer to the character getting blasted. But I think in Hive Secundus, I think there's essentially little insects that jump on your head and eat your brains. So, that sounds like a good way to go for someone that we know. Let's just pop this on. Ooh. That's pretty thick. I don't need this much on this bit, but there's no limit, Schmitters. I think obviously I think if there's 10 Schmitters in a certain army, I think that won't work. So I think you'll get one per something, but you can be in multiple systems, that's fine. So if you really want to be a Gene Stealer, you can, but we got to get that 100, and then once I get those $100, I'm cracking that. But I tell you what, Schmitters, I'll say this to you right now. Well, when I hit that target for the Secundus, one of those Gene Stealers in that box is you. All right, buddy? One of them is for you. Right, so that's... Well, do you want to be the Stealer? Do you want to wait and be the Stealer? Or do you want to be the Ogre? Or do you want to be both? You can choose. But one of those Stealers is you. Alright, Schmitters? There we go. There's base done on that. Let's put the excess away. Now that the chat's slowed down, I've suddenly become very aware of that I'm feeling a little tired. I feel the conversation slowed down, didn't it? It was going great guns for the last hour, and I got to get my brushes out of that technical water. Yeah, it's true. In fact, you're the only Alex Schmitz I know, Schmitz. So, right, okay. So you're not the ogre. That's fine. Well, the ogre's ascending. We don't have to name him today. I'm bloody pleased with that. I think I might be getting to the point where I might be able to start tackling eyes. Good. So then his base is done. Who else can I send? The Iron Warrior we wanted to name. Who was it you wanted to name go on the Iron Warrior? It was 10-minute history. Was it 10-minute history who wanted to be on the Iron Warrior? Right, let's get null oil on this guy and show you how lovely it looks once it's on. So have a good look at him. So that's just gold highlights on certain bits, and he's base coated in lead belcher. And you put on null oil, and he just comes alive. And also, if Hive Secundus is fun, who's to say you can't just proxy out all the models? You could have regular gene stealers in there. I was thinking of, instead of the floaty brain bugs, I could have the little tyrannid tentacle baby things that I have. Like, or you could use a spore mine as well. Like, you don't have to use the same ones. So again, all this is null oil, and that's it. And for some reason, it just comes out super delish. And these are my first Iron Warriors. What I wanted to do is I wanted to get all these guys painted, but I didn't want to do them white like my Terminators. So I decided to go for Iron Warriors. And now, in the Saturnine box, I have another whole heap more of these guys, but in different armours. The Mark III Crusade armours? And so if I've got a load of those, then if they're Crusade armours, I could do like a planet compliance. I would just need to think of a race that could be aliens and give them a certain set of rules, and it could be like a compliance themed match, which I really like the idea of. And then if you're being an alien race in the Imperium setting, if in the Warhammer setting, you can go for anything you like. You could choose any model as the species that's being brought to heel, or not, depending on how the battle goes. And I like that idea. They haven't done that. They haven't done a compliance because I guess it's only one alien race. They're not going to be super popular. But I like the idea of that, a compliance. And also, you could use humans because they, people from Old Night who got separated and don't want to join the Imperium. That happens all the time. That happened all the time during Unification Wars is the Earth one, isn't it? That's the one. Imagine being a bloody Thunder Warrior and it's all done. Earth is united, and then the Custodians start chopping you down. Oh, but I'd love a Thunder Warrior model because they were big old brutes. The old first attempt. And there you go. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is, just some null oil. And it really does just tie that all together. It's a little bit thick in places, but I'm not even worried. I did deliberately go over the eyes. The eyes are going to need a touch up. But I'm alright with that. But I deliberately didn't do the shoulder pad because the shoulder pad needs a little something else. It needs, like, not necessarily an Agrax. It needs this. What it needs is it needs a Reichland Earthshade. That's what Flesh Shade. Sorry, that's what it needs. You don't go null on the yellows. So I think we've lost Francois. I hope I didn't frustrate him too much. I know he was like, because what he was saying was legit. I didn't mean to sound dismissive of him. So you see how the Reichland is a little warmer. It's just. See how much tastier those yellows become with the Reichland. It's just so nice with the yellows, and that's him done. There we go. He's out. He's up. Well, eyes, but you know what I mean. And what I'm going to do as well, whilst I've got the Reichland on the brush, I'm going to, rather than painting yellow on this orb, I'm going to just go over it with the Reichland and see if I can get it looking a little bit better. Yeah, that's alright. I should really finish these demons as well. Now what I'm thinking with all of this brown, because this brown's kind of mucky, and it's not that really pleasant a brown at all. It's like just a, I think it's tau ochre and then a wash. I think it looks ugly as hell. Now that we've discovered the skag brown, I feel like I might need to go and redo these straps. And also the hair. I like the hair, the black with grey, just cracks white highlights, which this is sort of trying to be, but it wasn't originally what I went for. So we might actually have solved these ones as well in the process, which is kind of cool. So I kind of feel like I want to... Let's try the Skag Brown on one of the straps, because I think that's the way we're going to go. I'm starting to flag a little bit now. We might have to do this test and then call it a night. Oh, I'm going to be around a lot longer tomorrow as well. I'm going to be able to stream for longer tomorrow, which is nice. So I'll be on early. There we go, Skag Brown. I think I have inadvertently discovered a new brown, which is lovely. So let's give it a little test. Let's see if I can't make these fun. So where should we start? I guess we start with this terrible hoof. So again, the original Skag Brown was just a thin coat. Just that's it. I say thin whilst he's caking on a really thick bit of paint. Yeah, I think maybe that's a silver there. I might leave that silver, or as that's red, I might just do this. If I can make the browns interesting and like a fun bit of the model, then that's a real big win if I can manage that. If I can make the browns enjoyable. Because doing the reds on this guy is really fun. You know, why so many straps? It's just so much extra detail. Just intimidated me. That's why the ogres are good, because they're very simple. It's like trousers, flesh, weapon, pretty much. Hey Schmitters, how's the plane going? You still been assembling it during the stream? Has it felt a little bit like you've been hanging out doing model stuff with someone? I'd like it if it was the case. I'd like that a lot. There's a little bit of randomness in that, whatever that bit is. I don't know what that is. Again, I'm already liking the brown more. Have you've been there's some I don't know if it's got a name, but there's some kind of painting panic that occurs where you're like, oh, you can't get yourself to start. I found, Schmitters, since starting these streams, that you just do something really easy straight away as like a warm-up. I just do a little bit of basing, something that doesn't really matter if it messes up, something that's not too difficult. And I just feel immediately doing that really helps set you up. Because bear in mind, a lot of this stream I have just been doing edge highlighting, which is normally pretty taxing. So what I usually do is I have like a movie on in the background or something. But this is more fun. This is better than a movie because you don't necessarily know what's coming up. Plus, I don't know about you, but I kind of rewatch the same movies over and over again. And I was just a bit like, oh, I've only got like 11 movies, so it's just rewatching the same ones. There's only so many times you can watch Predator. As good as it is, you have to step off it a little bit to forget the bits ever so slightly. You can't keep watching it back to back. Okay, the interior bits. This is already going to be better. I think we've solved the brown issue. I think we've solved it. And then I subsequently forget, but we've solved it. We've definitely solved. Hey, didn't we go down a like? Didn't we hit 7 likes? Have we managed to... Someone's taken their like off, right? You can do that, right? You can take a like off. Someone changed their mind. It was too much. Was it too much trade-in talk? Did I overdo it with the table trade and chat? Maybe I did talk about it too much. Maybe I annoyed someone. Oh, well, you can't please everyone. All I can do is be try to stay true to me. I'm just excited about it is all. Oh, well, that's reassuring. It's just how it computes it then. This brown is better. The other one was rubbish. The other one was really poo. This one is definitely better. Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so that leg's done. That strap's done. Let's just do the sword. Oh, I've just realised something, guys. Painting the sword handle on this guy. We didn't paint the sword handle on Almost Schmitters. We haven't done the sword handle, have we? Let's get some Skag Brown on that. He's not done. But we know that it's not difficult to do. Oh, there's a little bit of metal on the handle as well. Oh, bugger. Well, that's okay. So he's not quite done. Do I have any of that blue on there? No. There we go. I'll be honest, Schmitters. Between me and you, I'm going to do the auctions tomorrow. I'm going to try and do auctions tomorrow. And see if anyone's interested in buying those models. I think I'll do the tanks as well. You never know. There might be someone who's a beginner who wants a Revel. Just go with whatever feels right. If you're not overly feeling the cockpit, then don't do it. Like, don't do it. Just, yeah, follow your gut on those ones. Because trying to force yourself to paint something you don't want to paint is just, it's really tough to do that. And it can kind of demoralise you a little bit and put you off doing the model in general. You know, so I would just do that. Here we are. I'm actually looking forward to edge highlighting this now, which is nice. Well, how are the crew posed? Could you use the crew for something else? Or are they like very specific to the bomber, or are they just dudes? Because if you could repurpose them, then I would say do that. But if they're just going to go in a bin, oh, they're just super tiny. Yeah. Okay. So as a personal preference, I don't like super tiny crewmen. I'm not a fan of that. It's not my taste. So for small scale like that, I would totally leave the guys off. I wouldn't even bother. I agree with you. In fact, I wouldn't even keep them. Unless you want to make like a pile of corpses for something. I wouldn't even use them for anything. Maybe someone else would buy them, maybe. There we go. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, because exactly what you were saying about doing the cockpit is what was happening with this lever. I was like, oh, I'm just not feeling it at all. But now, that's really coming together. Okay. I think we can call it a day there. Or should I finish the straps? And there's the braces and everything. We're good. I think we're going to stop there at the 2-hour mark. Schmitters, I appreciate that you stayed when it dropped off. And kept me chatting. So thank you for that. Feel free to post photos like you're doing in Discord about the bomber. I am pretty interested in it. So yeah, thanks for that, man. I really appreciate you chatting to me. kept me going. So thanks, man. But I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow for another little cheeky live stream. All right, bye, Schmitters. Love you. Bye.